So, Baruch Hashem, we're here celebrating Chanukah Habayit to our amazing student that not only has a Chanukah Habayit, but also a celebration, but also Baruch Hashem recently finished a GEHINNOM. One of the three people we took to New York recently to finish the conversion, Baruch Hashem. You know, it's such an amazing merit to be a Jew already, that to actually see one created in front of your eyes is mamash something extraordinary. You see how everything changes in an instant. 1 second, the person is not obligated in anything. He's obligated to do 7 Mitzvot that are relatively common sense. Don't kill anybody. Don't be immoral. Don't curse God. Don't eat animals while they're still alive. You know, simple things, common sense. Who wants to eat a living horse? Anyone that's a normal human being is not going to eat anything alive. Even though, unfortunately, in the seafood business, people have become infatuated with things like lobsters, and which are actually cooked alive, but which is a problem of its own for the goyim. But nonetheless, anyone with common sense doesn't need much instructions from the Torah to tell him don't murder. But to see someone that decides that, you know what, those 7 logical mitzvot are not enough for me. Add another 606. Put me in the bracket of 613, I want to be one of the chosen. And you see people do it today, and it's truly something amazing. I always have a special place in my heart for converts, aside from the fact that we went through the conversion with my wife. It's just several students that we've taken to the Bedin to help them convert. Many students from all over the world that we help them with conversion on a daily basis. I think there's probably at least one new convert every other day coming to me that needs help with, which is really much fulfilling the prophecy that Chazal told us about in the Gemara Masechet Avodah Zarah, page 3a and 3b, where it talks about how before the times of Mashiach, before the Mashiach actually arrives, there's going to be many converts. Now, in the times that this Gemara was written, nearly 2,000 years ago, this was an insane idea. Yeah, there was, you have a few stories of a few people converting to Judaism even 2,000 years ago, even 3,000 years ago. But to say there's going to be a lot of converts, there has to be something mentally wrong with you. Why would so many people want to join the nation that's being persecuted? To join the nation that half of them, to join the people that are being persecuted by the entire world? Why would anybody want to join? And to say that so many are going to do it right before the Mashiach comes, this is 100% prophecy. So anyone that questions whether the Gemara is divine doesn't really... Baruch Hashem, this shiur is going to be good because there's a lot of interruptions. Anytime Satan interrupts, it's going to be a good shiur. So, we're seeing extraordinary amount of converts coming to the world. We're seeing them be the best form of rebuke for the rest of Am Yisrael. In the Gemara Bava Metzia, it says that the convert is like a skin disease for the rest of the nation. And the Mefarshim, the commentary, gives a few different pirushim, a few different reasons of why there is skin disease. It doesn't sound exactly like a compliment. But if you look at your Tfilat Amidah that you read 3 times a day, you see that Hashem considers the convert higher than a natural born Jew. Higher. We pray for the convert higher than a natural born Jew. It's considered higher. Why? Because he chose the Mitzvot, whereas the Jew is obligated regardless. Now, so when the Gemara says the convert is like a skin disease, it's like, hey, what are you saying? You're saying that the very same people that Hashem mentioned 36 times in the Torah as being special, as being the ones that He's both their father and their mother, as being the ones that have a special deal with Hashem, beyond, above and beyond the natural born Jew, where you're not even allowed to pressure a convert. Forget about not being nice to him. You're not even allowed to pressure him. You have to love him more than a natural born Jew. How can you say at the same time that he's a skin disease? So one of the most acceptable commentaries explains that when a convert is a real convert, he's 100% zealous. He's like Pinchas. He's willing to mamash give his life for Hashem. Nothing else in the world matters to him. Nothing else in the world matters to her. They're willing to mamash put their life on the line for the smallest mitzvah. Once they've discovered that Hashem is real, nothing else matters. Sometimes us natural born Jews take Hashem and the relationship we have with Hashem for granted. They think, oh, he's Abba, I'll get to him when I get a chance. So the convert that's zealous for the mitzvot, that on day one puts kisui rosh on, that on day one is eating everything kosher to the highest level, inside the house and outside the house. Because Hashem is inside the house and outside the house. Hashem is not only inside the house. It's very easy to be religious inside the house. Like a lot of people say, no, I keep kosher in the house. What about outside the house? No, chicken, salads. Why? Hashem is not, doesn't care about the salads at outside the house? Doesn't care about the chicken outside the house? No, but I don't eat pig. Okay, but when you eat the salad at Subway, every time you eat a bug, inside the salad, because the Goyim don't wash the salad the same way the Jews do, it's worse than eating pig. So Hashem doesn't care about that salad. So it's inside the house and outside the house, on day one. Inside the house and outside the house, they're zealous for Hashem. They learn Torah on a daily basis. They're excited about it. And every time they see a natural born Jew mistreating the Torah, mistreating Hashem, mistreating the relationship that they have with Hashem Yitbarach, it bothers them. And many times they say something. So the Gemara says, this reminder is very annoying. It's very annoying to the natural born Jews. It's okay, fine, you picked your mitzvot, go pick your mitzvot somewhere else. You don't have to remind me. I have a special deal with Hashem. Everybody thinks they have a special deal with Hashem. They don't have a special deal with the IRS, but they think they have a special deal with Hashem. So the convert is reminding us constantly, my friend, time to wake up. Abba is calling. Abba is calling. Now, one of the negative things about this pirush is that if a convert is not zealous, if a convert is not just zealous, but not zealous in the right way, because to convert in general, you have to be zealous to some extent, unless you're a fake convert completely, you converted for religion, for marriage, for money, which is not a real convert anyway. But the point is that when a convert is misdirected, where they don't have a Rav that they hold by, they're not a part of a community, they're not putting themselves in a situation where they're going to have an authority figure that has experience, that has knowledge, that has Yirat Shamayim, most importantly, direct them. Unfortunately, the Gemara says that convert is very dangerous. That's what happened with the Erev Rav. That's what happened with the Erev Rav. When we went to Mount Sinai, we just heard God's voice. We saw miracles every second. Moshe Rabbeinu goes up to Mount Sinai for 40 days. And when he comes down, we have an idol. Something wrong with you? What happened? Maharaj says, that's the Erev Rav. The Erev Rav, the fake converts, they're the ones that put the idol. So when you have a convert that's misdirected, it's very, very dangerous, and that's why in the world today, you see that a lot of problems in the conversion world. Unfortunately, those Erev Rav, those bad converts that converted for the wrong reason, or that started going off the derech, or started going off in their own different way, have made it bad for everyone. One example is what happened in the state of Israel in 1971-72, where they had a woman that came to Israel, a non-Jew, and she found an Israeli, she wanted to marry him, and in Israel in those times they didn't allow a Jew and a non-Jew to get married. At least back then they had some type of rule. So they said, okay, let's go outside of the country and get married. They went, they got married. And they also did a reform conversion.
Disgrace.
So they did a reform conversion, came back to Israel, now they had kids, and she wanted the kids to be declared Jewish. You know, in those days they had a Tudat Ziyut, and it said your religion on Tudat Ziyut, on your identification. So she wanted the kids to be recognized as Jewish. The Rabbanut says they're not Jewish. You're not Jewish, and they're not Jewish. Like, no, but I did a reform conversion. Like, yeah, reform conversion is worth absolutely zero. It's not worth anything.
Disgrace to Judaism.
So they started fighting it. They brought it to the court. They brought it to the media. It became a very, very big problem. A very big problem for the Rabbanut. Eventually, unfortunately, the rabbi of the IDF was bought off. He was an Orthodox rabbi. He was bought off, and he ended up converting her in a matter of a couple of days, without her knowing anything, without her accepting any mitzvot, as an Orthodox woman. And what ended up happening is that you had problems from that day forward in the world of conversions. So this is just one small example of problems with conversions. In today's world, I see a lot of converts that, Baruch Hashem, are amazing, but once in a while you see ones that are like off. They're very angry people. They're upset that Am Yisrael is not all Moshe Rabbeinu. They're upset that everyone is not excited and celebrating the coming of the Mashiach any day. They're upset that everyone is not as zealous as them, but it gets to a point where they start hating Am Yisrael. They start becoming self-hating people. And this is very dangerous.
I've heard enough. New arrival screams echoing through the hallway to know that this ain't good. Once they pass them through the infierno, they don't come back. It's enough to make you go crazy.
Do not think we fear you, Spirit. We know your power is born of evil. This is your last night in the land of the living. You understand me, malevolent demon?
There was a rich family that lived here called the Hetheringtons, and unfortunately, their daughter passed away of a heart attack inside the house. Basically, they were so devastated that they reached out to people claiming to be psychic mediums. They actually weren't psychic mediums. They opened up a total of 11 portals inside this house and invited spirits and entities from all different kinds of dimensions.
Well, I think there are certain pieces of evidence that there is an afterlife.
Resurrection of the dead is affirmed pretty clearly in the Talmud and the Midrash.
To be honest with you, to give this lecture is a nightmare. If it was up to me, I wouldn't do it. There's going to be some graphic details.
This place is a maze.
The person after death went to a place called Sheol.
This is by far the largest near-death experience study that has ever been conducted.
People go to a place and they experience weird things. And sometimes they actually will see a character of some type. Well, where did that come from?
I don't know why that one chain is swinging back there.
They may describe feeling profoundly peaceful, seeing a bright, warm, welcoming light. Some people describe watching doctors and nurses working on them with incredible accuracy.
Next thing I knew, I was above my body watching the operation.
How long did you feel like you were gone?
I went to a place of timelessness. And so what that means, it could have been a second, could have been 5 minutes. I don't know.
Can you imagine waking up from your sleep and not being able to move?
As I'm lying there, I realized that there's an evil presence next to me.
Do you believe that angels, demons exist?
Holy shit, dude, get out of here! Oh my god, dude!
Strange things keep happening. Bizarre nightmares, as if I'm on fire in the woods.
Whoa, what the hell is this? Man, I've got bad chest pain.
Satan's Hollow is what it's called, the portal to hell.
Some people calling it an eye of fire, while others said it looked like the portal to hell opening up.
And the next thing I know, I was outside of my body, looking at my body.
What I'm going to do is called claromancy, the art of throwing lots or throwing bones.
2,000 years of experience, passed down, recorded, of how demons work.
God has them all on a leash, and he lets the leash go enough to let them tempt us, because that's what makes us spiritually stronger.
I'm trying to be as graphic as possible so you understand what we're talking about.
It's your ticket to reality. It's your ticket to freedom. It's your ticket to immortality.
Is there an afterlife? Is there a
It's
God?
the type of information that can keep you away from the Yetzirah.
What happens to us after we die?